memories, and all of them happy ones. It's a wonderful thing to be on a first-name basis with the world. Everyone knew him as Elvis. It's funny. In television, when a show is considered unusual, unique, one of a kind, they call it a special. And yet, the most special entertainer of our time, Elvis Presley, made only three television specials. Perhaps that's why each of them is such a rare treat. I'm here tonight to bring you the first two of them. Elvis and I made a movie together called Viva Las Vegas, and we remained close friends after that, and I cherish the memory of that friendship. He was a good man. He was kind, very respectful, a gentleman. But I'm not just here tonight as someone who knew him or worked with him. I'm here as you are, a fan, an admirer, as someone who sits in an audience and loves to be entertained. And Elvis entertained with that special kind of excitement that only he had. And excitement is the word to describe the two shows you're about to see. You're going to see Elvis's sense of humor, the fun, the warmth, the kindness, and the strength. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis. Title song of Elvis's first movie. The first of 32 pictures that were to bring the Elvis phenomenon to audiences in every corner of the world. You know, with all the fame, the publicity, the adulation, Elvis always remained a very private person. Well, in March of 1958, the U.S. Army made it official. He was a private. I guess no buck private ever received more worldwide attention than Private Presley. He spent 2 years in the Army, and it's certainly the measure of the man that for those 2 years, as on every movie set and in every recording studio, he was far and away the most popular guy in his outfit. Oh, and he was far and away, all right. He was shipped to Germany. And you would think that accustomed to the privileges of fame and of wealth, he'd expect and receive very special treatment. No way. He was treated like everyone else, and he took it like everyone else. And the men in his outfit respected him for it, admired him for it, and came to be the biggest Elvis fans of all. In March of 1960, he walked off a gangplank into civilian life and right back to where he was most at home, at the top of the music charts, with one interesting change. During his time in the Army, he had been listening to different kinds of songs, not just rhythm and blues and country and rock. And when he started making new records, he began singing some of these different songs. The one you're about to hear was written in 1920, an old Tin Pan Alley standard. Elvis heard it one long winter night in Germany, and it said something to him. And when he zoomed it to the top, as he did all of his records, it said something to the audience, too. The song of that cold wintry eve to that faraway GI, Are You Lonesome Tonight? Typical of Elvis, don't you think? The one Christmas song that he's identified with, the one Christmas song that he wanted to record, Blue Christmas, a song that sings to those for whom Christmas is not always the merriest and most joyous time of the year. That was the thing about Elvis. He cared. Maybe because there were so many blue Christmases in his early beginnings. I know he thought about those beginnings. He never forgot his roots. As a matter of fact, this entire next sequence, the truly sensational climax of this first television special, tells us so much about those roots. Because the number really does parallel much of his own early career, before it was a career. And even though he was playing a part, I kind of think he was reliving a time when he was just another young man with a guitar and a dream much too big to come true. We see so much of the real Elvis in this number. He was quite an expert in karate, you know. And as you'll see, he uses karate to build a whole dance routine. So what began as an exciting musical sequence to end the show turned out to be even more. There were many sides to Elvis, and this segment allows us a deep look into the Elvis that first skyrocketed to fame. If I Can Dream, a song that was written overnight to close the first television special, one of the rare times that Elvis had performed a song that he hadn't first recorded or sung in a movie, or at least try it out in a performance somewhere. But it expressed so much of what Elvis truly believed. Brothers walking hand in hand, peace, understanding, that he insisted on breaking it in front of 60 million viewers. He really did care, you see. And in this one respect, at least, he was like so many great stars in our profession. He used his great fame and enormous popularity to benefit the worthiest of causes. His second television special, for example, was actually a performance to raise money for the fight against cancer. And midway through the show, you'll hear him proudly announce that the sale of tickets had raised some $75,000. And you know what? They found out later that he had bought the first ticket. That's right. He was the star of the show, and he paid his own way in. He flew all the way over to Hawaii to buy that ticket, because that's where the show was done. And you remember what I said at the beginning, what a wonderful thing it is to be on a first-name basis with the world? Well, this special from Hawaii certainly proves it. Hawaii, a land that sings with such a marvelous medley of colors and languages and religions and nationalities. And to pack that huge auditorium in Honolulu for a satellite telecast that would be seen live by 500 million people. All they had to announce was that one word, that first name. I've lived a life that's full. I did it my way. The perfect summing up of an extraordinary life and an extraordinary career. He did it his way. And in this next sequence of songs, you'll see again how truly versatile that way really was. How wide a range, how varied, how very much he had to offer. And there's something else. Perhaps because I was so conscious of it. The setting in the background shows a sky filled with stars. And all through the sequence, the image of Elvis lights up again and again, flashing on and off among the stars in the heavens. How prophetic.
Tree.
By to signing checks. He literally knocked himself out for many charitable causes. And that same spirit of generosity always extended to giving credit to those who worked with him. They weren't just musicians and backup groups. They were closely knit friends, all working together, as you'll see right here. Elvis was Southern born and Southern bred, and he sang it proudly to the world. And yet, when you hear this tender performance of Dixie, you're going to feel the way I did. That somehow it's not about just one part of our country, but something that belongs to all of us. Religious more than regional, as though he's singing of what we're all a part of. Listen.